Sometimes you make a choice that you didn't intend to make. And if you had to do it all over again, you would change what you did and how you would approach that. Now you know that you have the capability of making the right choice and to be strong about it.
Most pilots don't understand what career opportunities are available in the world of aviation. They're making career decisions based on advice from friends or posts on internet forums, meaning they are taking huge risks with their livelihood without having all the details. This podcast was created to help you understand the aviation industry so you can find your dream job. Let's get ready for Pushback. Here's your host and my dad, Nick Fialka.
Hey, pilot, welcome back to Ready for Pushback. It's Nick Fialka. It's another solo show. I'm so glad you're here with me today. If you're watching on the YouTubes, what's up? If you're listening on the podcast, how's it going? Hope you are getting something good going in your life. Maybe you're commuting to work or working out or hanging out with the fam, whatever it is. I want to talk to you today about a phone call I received from a dear friend of mine yesterday. This guy flies for a major airline. He is first officer and has been flying for a very long time. And he called me yesterday after his flight landed and he was a little upset. And here's what happened. They were coming in on approach and they were cleared. The first controller gave them a runway assignment. And when they checked into the final controller gave them the parallel runway assignment to land. And so they were not expecting to land on that secondary runway. They had already briefed both sides of the runways, not knowing which one they were going to get. But they were on final. They were with the final controller. They weren't on final just yet, but they were with the final controller. They were getting vectors, and they were expecting an ILS, which is precision approach, to one runway, and they tell them to sidestep, go to the other runway, and they clear them for the visual. Well, my buddy, he is flying, and he, in his mind, he didn't want to accept. He felt like he wasn't ready for the parallel runway. And the captain of the plane accepted the parallel runway assignment. They slid over. He made all the changes. They got through all the different items that they had to cover, like changing frequency, make sure they had the right final approach course tuned in, and all those specific things that you have to do. But it was such a hurry when they cleared him for the approach. All of a sudden, he's high on the profile and he's fast. He pulled the power back. He dropped the gear. He was slowing down and he called for flaps and he oversped the flaps. He was a little high on profile trying to get down. And when he hit 1,000 feet, he was greater than 1,000 feet per minute rate of descent, which means he was unstable. In a stable approach, you need to be on glide slope, on speed, plus or minus 5 knots usually, and less than 1,000 feet per minute rate of descent. There's a couple other caveats in there, but that's basically what you need. And he was high, he was fast, and his rate of descent was too fast. About 200 feet later, they got it all under control and he landed the plane. And he called me because he was really upset with himself. And I'm telling you this today. I actually asked him if I could tell this story because I think this is really important for pilots, especially a first officer. The conversation that he had in his head was, man, if I'm ever unstable, if I'm ever not ready, I'm just going to go around. I'm going to try it again. No harm, no foul. Let's make it happen. There was no pressure. They didn't have some kind of like major fuel issue or they weren't single engine or a fire or something like that. They were just unstable and fast, and he didn't call the go around. Captain didn't say anything. And when he landed, he was pretty upset with himself because he knew that he should have called it. He even said when we were speaking about it, I read all of these ASAP reports, and ASAP is an aviation safety report that you fill out if you mess something up, and it helps the company come up with strategies to help pilots be better, and it lets the pilots be upfront and forward with their mistakes without the fear of retribution for making a mistake. And you read these reports about what happened, and you think to yourself, man, I would never do that. I would always call the go. I would always do this, or I would always do that. And he was in that situation and did not call the go around. And when the captain accepted the parallel runway and the offset to sidestep over, he should have just said, let's go around, let's get set up and try it again. And he didn't because he felt like he could probably do it. He also felt pressure from the captain accepting it, even though the captain wasn't trying to give him pressure. He felt that he needed to do it and he felt like he needed to be successful. And then he didn't do it. He was mad at himself. And I get that. We talked about it for about 10, 15 minutes while we were flying. And I was actually driving in the car with the family. We were coming back from a hike. And when we were done with the conversation, I hung up. I was talking to Anna about it and the kids, they were asking about what happened and how it went. And I told them that sometimes you really make a choice that you didn't intend to make. And if you had to do it all over again, you would change what you did and how you would approach that. And I think that it's a really good learning lesson for my friend to know that he can now make those decisions. He can be strong enough to step up when somebody that has a higher authority than you, somebody that is flying with you, even if they think differently, you just go with your gut and you make it happen for yourself. And I said, now you won't feel that pressure because you felt what it feels like to make the wrong choice and everything. And you guys were luckily safe and everything's good. But now you know that you have the capability of making the right choice and to be strong about it and not to worry about the extra 10 minutes that it's going to take to go around the pattern. And that's a tricky thing. It's a hard thing to do, especially when you mess something up. And we're all going to mess something up. And this is not to come down on my friend. This is more to tell you that you are going to mess something up and you are going to be faced with this situation. And you are going to have some kind of adversity in front of you that you are going to have to overcome. And you can, and you should. And you should succeed where my friend didn't. And I have been there too. I have been in those places where I wish that I had done something different. I wish that I had called the go around. I wish that I had gotten something under control. I wish that I had paid attention to my speed because we're imperfect. And I want you to think about that. And I want you to consider that in your everyday flying, whether you're in flight school and you're doing some flight training, whether you're just going up right now and going to get in the plane and do your own thing. All of those things are so important. You don't have to be an airline pilot to get something out of this episode. I think that I'm proud of my friend for calling me and for being so frustrated and upset about it. And I'm thankful that he said that I could share this with you. He's a dear, dear guy. And I know he wants to be the best pilot he can. And he also wants you to be the best pilot. And that's what I love about him. And that's what I appreciate about you guys. When you talk to me about the things that you've struggled with and you talk to me about the things where you have not succeeded, that's an opportunity for somebody else to succeed. Hey, if you have a story where you haven't succeeded and you want to share it with me, please do reach out. Send me an email, podcast@spitfirely. I'd love that. To my friend, hats off, right? Like you filled out the ASAP report. You did the right thing. You debriefed with the captain. But now you're a better pilot for making those decisions. You'll be able to make them easier next time. And that is a good thing because we're always moving forward and we're always trying to do the best. And that's what I think about this cool little situation. Thank goodness everybody was safe. Thank goodness everything worked out very well. And now we're better because of it. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And guess what? I'll see you again on Monday.
This is important. Before you go, you need to know that 2024 is going to be unbelievably competitive in the world of pilot hiring, and you need to make sure that you separate yourself from the herd. The only way that you can guarantee that you'll land your dream job is by partnering with Spitfire Elite Interview Consulting. We are the only choice for application review and interview prep. We are the partners that you've been looking for from start to finish, and it's never too early to be part of our community. Just go over to my website, spitfireelite.com, and use the coupon code R4P to save yourself 10% on all of our services. Again, that's the letter R, the number 4, and the letter P to save 10%. So go out there and slay your interviews.